You're welcome to Break the Bars of Iron program, and thanks for tuning in once again. Break the Bars of Iron is a program that makes you see and recognize the invisible forces that prevent you from achieving your God-given potential. What is potential? Potential is untapped power. And it's shocking to see that that untapped power is lying dormant within you. Unless you discover that power, life will always be meaningless. There are invisible forces that are preventing you from accomplishing that thing that you're born to do. What are invisible forces? Invisible forces are things that exist in our world, but you cannot see them. The fact that you cannot see them does not mean they do not exist. In fact, the gap between the rich and the poor is in what they can see. Because eyes that look are many, but those that see are rare. It is the reason why you need a program of this kind to help you begin to notice your surrounding. In today's transformational program, our focus will be on your work and not your career. Now, there is a very big difference between your work and your career. Your work is something that you've been born to do. Your career is something that the systems of this world have designed for you to do. Both of these are completely different. Your work is permanent. Your career is something temporary. When you look at our history, every person who left his career and focused on his work became successful. Let me give you an example. Matthew, one of the apostles of Jesus Christ, was a professional accountant. When Jesus Christ called him, he left his profession and followed Jesus. When you look at Luke in the Bible, he was a professional doctor. When Jesus invited him to join him, he left his profession and joined Jesus. When you look at Andrew, Peter, and John, the sons of Zebedee, they were professional fishermen. They were self-employed with a fishing company, but according to the systems of the world. When Jesus called them, they left their careers for their work. So what was so special with Jesus? It is because Jesus introduced these people to themselves. So it's very important you get to understand what your work entails. Now, when you look at the opening remarks of every Bible, the words begin by saying, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, what that means is that God created the heavens first before he created the earth. So everything that we have on the earth today existed in heaven at some point. You yourself, you were tested out before God sent you down here on the earth. And you're very special in the eyes of God. Why? Because when God created everything on the earth, he described that experience as good. But when you look at Genesis 1:31, when he created yourself, he used the word very. Why did God use the word very? Because you're a complete set. You are a king on the earth. And I can give you proof that you're a king yourself. Now, when you look at the book of Genesis 2:5, God refused it to rain on the earth. Why? Because he had not created yourself. When you look at the story of Adam, our historical parent, God told him to name the animals. He never gave Adam a supervisor. Why? Because Adam was a king on the earth. Why have people failed to discover their purpose? Why have people failed to discover their work? Now, when you look at the book of Genesis 1:26, it declares that God gave us dominion over the birds of the air, the fish of the sea, all living and non-living things on the earth. But one thing he never gave us was management of people. Whenever people are managed, the world goes into a crisis. One of the greatest problems we're having in the world today is that the world is focusing on managing people. And that's the reason why most people are in stress in careers. God never created you for a career. He created you for your work. In fact, a career was a replacement of your work. Now, when you look at the original ancient meaning of the word work, it meant torture. Why? Because they understood that a career at the time was not meant for them. They understood that their work was very significant. There are two reasons why you failed to discover your work. Now, one of the reasons has been because of lack of knowledge. Now, in the book of Hosea 4:6, God says that my people will perish for lack of knowledge. Now, he doesn't say my people will perish because of guns. He says my people will perish for lack of knowledge. Now, during the life of Emperor Constantine, there was a policy that was introduced to destroy knowledge on the earth. Now you are into a crisis today because some of this knowledge has been destroyed, it has been twisted, it has been hidden from yourself. That's why it is very difficult for you to discover your work. What do you do in a situation where the oppressor has hidden information from yourself? The solution is quite simple. You discover yourself by focusing on the person within. Now, God recognized that this would be a problem. It is the reason why he made the most important person to live within you. That's the person you need to listen to. His focus is to reveal things in the past, the present, and to tell you things in the future. The second reason why people have failed to discover their work is because of time. Now, time is the main currency on the earth. You are who you are today because of how you use your 24 hours. Most people in the world today are spending a lot of the time making friends, on entertainment, into careers. They spend a lot of time doing many things. When Jesus Christ visited Martha, Martha was busy doing so many things. And Jesus Christ said, Martha, the problem is you're doing so many things. You need to begin to focus on the reason of your existence. And that's the reason why you need to focus on the constitution of the kingdom of heaven. You begin to look for the reason of your existence in the Bible. I guarantee that your life and that of your family will never remain the same again. God bless you and see you next time, and thanks for watching today.